You guys, we're back and we got One Piece spoilers for chapter 1136. We did it! We survived until the new year. It's been 2 weeks since the last chapter, but we are back yet again. If you haven't read the spoilers yet though, I will be linking it down in the pinned comment right below the sponsor segment. So if you want to check them out for yourself, it will be right down there. So getting right to it, let's just talk about the spoilers a little bit. And the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that it is confirmed without a shadow of a doubt. Well, of course, there's more nuance to it, but it's confirmed that Shanks is the one who stopped Loki's rampage 6 years ago. And that right there is most likely what got Shanks to become an Emperor of the Sea. Of course, they didn't say it verbatim, but they said, hey, Shanks did do this 6 years ago, and that does line up with when Shanks got the title. So yes, Shanks and Loki do have that connection. Even though it doesn't confirm it, it is just another nail in that coffin that we can add to that theory. So outside of that though, the reason why we're getting this information is because we are still at the Elbaf feast, the Elbaf party. People are just kind of talking about things that are happening. They're hitting us with some lore, and we come to find out that the giants of Elbaf believe in 2 different versions of the sun god. We kind of got a hint of this when we saw Road, right? Road said he was the sun god. He was cosplaying as him, but everything he did didn't really seem sun god Nika-esque, right? He had the crazy skull, he had the robe, the staff, he was kind of mean-spirited back in his playhouse, and it's like, okay, like this isn't Nika. What's going on here? Well, we come to find out that they believe in 2 versions. One version has the sun god being a liberator, and the other version, the sun god is a god of destruction. So I don't think Loki's lying. I do not think Loki's lying when he says that he's the sun god. I think there is some truth to that, and I think this could be what it is. It's simply another version of sun god Nika, which I do kind of wonder if they'll have the same name. Like, are they both Nikas, or is it like sun god Bika, or, you know, something of that sort. Maybe Sun God Dika for destruction. I think that'd be pretty damn cool. And now I'm kind of just curious to see, like, will they have the same abilities, right? I think there could be some nuance there. Like, maybe since Loki's is more geared towards destruction, his will encapsulate more of the fire-based powers of Sun God Nika, whereas Luffy, since he's liberating, he's more about rubberiness and stretchiness, because that is what liberates him. I think that could be the case here. But yeah, I mean, we do know that devil fruits are born from desire, born from dreams and beliefs. So I think that is what Oda is cooking up right here. So yeah, moving on though, we're still in the feast and we see Luffy putting his plan into action. He actually grabs the keys to free Loki during all of this. But he's not working alone. He roped in Zoro and Nami in on his plans. Kind of crazy, right? Zoro is doing this because he wants to see how strong Loki is. You know, he kind of wants to fight Loki, which I don't think will happen. I feel like by the time they get down there, they're going to be buddy-buddy, and Zoro's simply going to gauge his strength. But yeah, Zoro got roped in easily, and as far as Nami goes, we don't exactly hear the reason why in the brief spoilers, but Nami is like this with Luffy, right? Nami knows that Luffy has great judgment, and she trusts Luffy very, very deeply. I think all the Straw Hats do. Right, if Luffy were to tell any Straw Hat, maybe except for Usopp right now because Usopp is going through giant fever, I feel like they would believe in Luffy. If Luffy wants to free somebody, then they're probably going to free him. I do wonder what Luffy's reaction is to the thought that Shanks is the one who initially stopped Loki's rampage. Like, maybe Luffy looks at it and he's like, hey, if Shanks can do it 6 years ago, I can probably do it today, right? If Loki goes out of control, maybe I can stop him. But before we get to Loki, a quick word from today's sponsor. At home, at the gym, out for a walk, at work, you name it, having a pair of earbuds will always improve your situation. I know you're probably thinking that new earbuds are probably going to be expensive, hundreds of dollars, right? Sometimes, yeah. But what if I told you that you could grab yourself or a loved one high-quality Bluetooth earbuds for less than half the price than the other stuff on the market? All thanks to Raycon. Raycon has actually sold 3 million of their previous version of their earbuds, so you know it's a winner, but if you've been waiting, now is the time to get on board, because they've recently redesigned and upgraded their everyday earbuds model. They pair nice and easy, and still have the dependable 32-hour battery life with their efficient charging carrying case, but now They have really nice active noise cancellation, which is massive. It really makes a difference with earbuds. There's multi-point connectivity if you want to share what you're listening to with other people, quick charge functionality, and also a quality fit that you can customize as well so that they don't fall out of your ear and they deliver a great feel. They also came out with these cool everyday protective carrying cases so you can express yourself a little bit along with the cool colors they have. I've been using them for over a month now, and they've been great and dependable alongside my work life. All of this, of course, is at an affordable price. All you gotta do is click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/SYV to get 15% off your Raycon purchase plus free shipping. Thank you, Raycon, for sponsoring today's video. So now we're back and we cut down to the underworld and we see that Stabs and the female Holy Knight are in front of Loki. Things are moving at a breakneck pace. Oda said, hey, it's the first chapter of 2025. We're coming in with a bang. And that is what's happening right here, which I am kind of curious to see how they learned that Loki was down in the underworld. Did the two guards from last chapter give it up? Because they were screaming out in pain, right? So I like to imagine they're like, hey, like, please make the pain stop. Make the pain stop. We'll tell you where Loki is. That's kind of what I'm imagining right now. And it's still kind of crazy to think about all the distance they traveled, because they were in the Sun Realm next to the Straw Hats, kind of, and then they went all the way down to Loki in the span of one chapter. Oda is not playing around, but yes, we see that the reason why they came for Loki is because they wanted to recruit him. They wanted Loki as a member of the Holy Knights, which makes sense given the fact that there is an empty position. Garling was the Supreme Commander, he got promoted to Gorosei, and now there's that empty slot. So why not go after somebody who wants to destroy the world, and that person being Loki? So yes, I think it all kind of lines up here, and plus they probably know that he's the sun god of destruction, and that he probably has these evil tendencies, more or less. So yeah, they're coming to get him, and I think this is massive, not just because of the Loki implications, but because of what this means for the other Holy Knights. You know, at first it's like, the Holy Knights are probably comprised of celestial dragons. And I still think that's the case for the most part. But now we learn that they could potentially recruit other people. It's kind of like Cypherpole, right? Like, we could just go around, say, hey, you there, you're really strong. Do you want to work for Emu? Insane that could just happen. And I think this also brings back an old theory that people were talking about, because back in God Valley, we saw that there was a Holy Knight with the gas mask. It kind of looked like Akira Toriyama's gas mask that he has on his character, and it was really cool. They were like, okay, like what's going on here? And people pointed out that we saw a very similar gas mask during Big Mom's flashback. There was actually a kid there that had that exact same mask. And people were wondering, like, oh, like, did he become a Holy Knight? Like, how would that happen? He's not a pureblood. He's not a celestial dragon. Could that actually be the case? But now that we know that people who are not celestials can become Holy Knights in this chapter, I think it brings that theory back into the equation, which I think is awesome. And also, we could see other characters being promoted to Holy Knight level. Of course, I don't think it's going to happen because I think he has other plans, but Rob Lucci is another prime example. Right, Rob Lucci, he loves the world government, he loves killing. I think he'd fit in. Would he be the strongest one? Probably not. But hey, like, I think that is a door that is potentially open to him. So yeah, they wanted to recruit Loki, but Loki does not want to do it. He does not want to join the Holy Knights. We don't really get the reasoning why. Of course, this is the brief spoilers. We will get more come tomorrow. But he turns them down. And we come to find out the name of the Holy Knight girl. And her name is Gunko. Yeah, I will admit, the name isn't exactly my favorite. Gunko, I just think of gunk, which is like dirt, grime, possibly a nasty gelatinous liquid, right? Like, Gunko doesn't exactly sound too appeasing, but I want to see what Oda's cooking, right? Because when it comes to the Holy Knights and the Celestial Dragons, they typically have kind of cool names, like it's very English, very proper. So maybe her last name's gonna go really hard. I'm not too sure. But we also do know that Oda likes to follow a theme. So there is a chance that Gunko, if somebody here knows what Gunko actually means or what it's in reference to, we could come to find out the other names of the Holy Knights as well. If, of course, she is a pure celestial dragon and not simply somebody that they recruited. Because if Loki got recruited, that would kind of throw a wrench in the naming scheme of the Holy Knights. So maybe that's not the case. Apparently, we get nothing about the hooded Shanks in this chapter. Oda classically teasing us again, right? Nothing about the hooded Shanks. But I think getting nothing about hooded Shanks is getting something in some regard. Because Loki knows Shanks, right? Shanks is the one who put Loki down here 6 years ago. Shanks and Loki potentially fought in the past. So the fact that Loki doesn't really say anything to this guy, again, reinforces the idea that this guy is not Shanks. Because if it was, Loki would be like, hey, red hair, you know, like, I feel like we'd get some reaction or some communication. But no. It looks like the main people talking are Loki and this girl, Gunko. Which, Gunko, man, what a guttural name. So, Gunko reveals some of her powers, and she is wielding long bandage-like sleeves. Yes. It looks like bandages are indeed her main power, which we kind of saw last chapter, right? That is how she put the giant down. She wrapped him in bandages. We don't really know what the bandages do yet. They could be pain bandages. It could be mummy bandages. We're not exactly super sure. Which also, you know, going back to the theme of the Holy Knights, with Loki being a mythical transformation, potentially the sun god, I think, again, that could reinforce, like, oh, maybe the Holy Knights are also other mythical transformations, but you know, that is yet to be seen. And then finally, we see that one of Loki's pets, one of his animals from the underworld, comes to save him. But the Holy Knights are too strong. I mean, feels bad for the wolf. The wolf gets killed in this chapter, and Loki gets infuriated. He was already mad enough. He already wanted to destroy the world, but this right here kind of sets him off the edge. He wants to kill these guys. And bro, I see it. I can smell what the Rock is cooking. There's a good chance that Loki, of course, will team up with the Straw Hats. Right? Loki doesn't exactly like Luffy. You know, they were kind of arguing in the beginning, but the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And yeah, I can see it right now, right? Luffy, Zoro, and Nami, they come all the way down to the underworld. They see what's happening. They have the keys for Loki. They free him, and then a battle will ensue. Insane times, man. If you asked me last week, Sai, when do you think Loki will be freed, and when do you think the Holy Knights will arrive at Loki's location, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 chapters. But here we are. We're already here, and things are moving forward. And also, I do think that the Straw Hats will arrive next chapter, because since Loki turned down Gunko, crazy name still, since he turned down Gunko, they want to kill Loki. Like, oh, he's not going to join us? Okay, let's just execute him. And since Loki's in chains, he can't really do anything about it. So yeah, the Straw Hats are going to have to arrive very soon. And bro, imagine Luffy meeting the fake Shanks, Zoro meeting him, Nami. Oh, dude, this is going to be big. I love this trio, by the way. Luffy, Zoro, Nami. Dude, we're talking about the OGs. Dude, we're talking about the OGs. We're talking about Orange Town Trio right here, man. These are some good times we live in. And yes, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. How do you feel about these three going down to see Stabs and Gunko? And how do you feel about Loki? Now that we got all of this, now that they've killed his pet wolf, now that we hear about the sun god of destruction, I would love to hear any and all of your guys' thoughts down below. And of course, before we head out of here, just want to touch base on the cover story. Hold'em is apparently taking the group Yamato, Tama, and Speed possibly to his base. So that does mean that Hold'em is possibly working for somebody bigger than him. And back in the day, dude, Hold'em was working for Jack, right? So I think we could see Jack the Drought very soon. Everybody's favorite beast pirate, yo. Yeah. Do I have too much energy for this chapter? Maybe. But guys. It's been 2 weeks, man. I've been bottling up this damn energy, ready for the next chapter. And you guys know me. I love the villains. I love the bad guys. And we got Gunko here. We got the Holy Knights moving at super fast paces. It is a good time we live in. But yes, with that being said, guys, let me know all your thoughts about the chapter down below. I feel like that's the second time I've said it. Let me know all your theories, all your thoughts, and I will catch you guys in the next video come tomorrow when the full spoilers drop. Sai, signing out.